Dales.
Two actors are diving into artificial intelligence, saying it's to amplify voices, not replace them.
It's Matthew McConaughey's signature line.
All right.
But the next time you hear it, it may not be McConaughey saying it. The Oscar winner now signing a deal with AI software company 11 Labs to produce a virtual replica of his voice.
My voice and I are joining 11 Labs.
You may recognize that voice as Oscar winner Michael Caine, except that wasn't him. It was his 11 Labs replica. The company now launching what it calls the Iconic Voice Marketplace, a platform where creators can request access to celebrity voices.
ABC's Sophie Flay. A California three-judge panel has denied the appeal of Tory Lanez. He was convicted in 2022 on 3 counts for firing a gun at Megan Thee Stallion. Some Americans as far south as the Gulf Coast were lucky enough to see vibrant northern lights overnight.
From the Dakotas to California to Florida, social media sites are filled with postings like this.
Whoa. What?
Brilliant colors lit the skies across much of North America in a solar storm ranked as severe by the NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center. An eruption of strong magnetic fields from sunspot clusters was detected earlier this week. The result, northern lights in the deep south.
That's insane.
Jim Ryan, ABC News.
There was no winner in last night's Mega Millions drawing, meaning the jackpot has grown to an estimated $965 million. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KVNU.
5:05 now, and with your KVNU local headlines, I'm Will Fiore. Of course, college basketball coming up tonight, just over an hour away from a pregame show as Utah State hosting Weber State in the Spectrum. The Aggies coming into this game after their big win over the weekend against VCU, and head coach Jared Calhoun says he's excited to be getting back into the Spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping, there's a pride in this, right? I think last year's team really set the tone at home. We had a couple hiccups, obviously with UC San Diego and also New Mexico, but this is a great venue at home. You got to come in and establish yourself defensively and win the physicality part, and we're certainly going to have to do that on Wednesday night.
Now, we'll hear more from Coach Calhoun coming up in our pregame show as J.D. Walker and Stockton Jukes will be counting down to tip-off 7 o'clock tonight from the Spectrum. And then immediately after the game, we'll have our post-game and Aggie call here on KVNU. Well, in other local stories we're following this afternoon, Michael Aaron Jane, that 43-year-old man who's accused of striking and killing Santa Quin Police Sergeant Bill Hooser with a semi-truck in 2024, has now been arrested for allegedly assaulting a deputy while awaiting trial. Now, Jane was arrested on November 10th after camera footage from inside his jail cell allegedly captured him using his hands to forcefully spray an unknown liquid through a crack in the cell door, striking the deputy. Now, the probable cause affidavit noted that the action had taken planning and effort. Jane is being held without bail and faces a recommended Class A misdemeanor charge for the incident. He's already facing charges of aggravated murder in the death of Sergeant Hooser and was also facing a pending aggravated assault charge for a previous incident involving deputies at the jail. Now, the crash and subsequent multi-hour manhunt for Jane occurred back in May of 2024. And a man by the name of Charles Yu was sentenced earlier this week to 25 years to life in prison for the depraved murders of his 2 housemates in Blanding, Christopher Owens and William Bull. Now, Yu pleaded guilty to 2 counts of aggravated murder in the February 2024 shooting and admitted to dumping the victims' bodies in the desert. Now, family members spoke out at the sentencing on Monday, revealing that 2 of Bull's young children were present and witnessed the shooting. Bull's father-in-law, Chris Schumann, had called Yu a monster. Now, Christopher Owens' father, Alan Owens, said that his son saved Bull's children by locking them in a separate room before he was fatally shot. Judge Don Torgerson called Yu's actions senseless and depraved. Now, he imposed the agreed upon concurrent sentences, but strongly recommended that the parole board consider keeping Yu behind bars without ever granting parole. Well, weather-wise, still seeing some clouds in the forecast through the rest of the afternoon and into tonight as temperatures are going to drop into the mid-30s. Tomorrow will be into the mid-60s with sunny skies. Could be the last time we see the 60s this year, as after tomorrow, storm comes in, brings a chance of some showers on Friday, and then cooler weather in the mid-50s for Saturday and Sunday. And weather this hour brought to you by Edson Builders. Whether you're on a budget or building your forever home, they promise a higher quality and a better building experience. It's Edson Builders. Call them today at 232-2680. I'll have another check of local news coming up at the bottom of the hour. I'm Will Feelright with your KVNU News Update.
For some, this is the most wonderful time of the year. Yippee! For me, it's the worst time of the year because it's time to hang my Christmas lights. Come on! Last year, I fell off my ladder into the rose bush. The year before, my lights didn't work at all. Not this year. I'm using Logan Extermination. They can install my own Christmas lights, or they can install their LED or incandescent lights. Enjoy the holidays and preserve your sanity by calling Logan Extermination. 752-8450.
Breaking news. Stimulating talk is what we do. KVNU 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
Come celebrate a white Christmas with Anderson Seed and Garden. They're potentially giving away $40,000 in merchandise to the first 50 people who spend $500 or more on holiday and Christmas decor between now and November 28th. If it snows at least 4 inches on Christmas Day and you made a qualifying purchase, your purchase is free. But you only have until November 28th to qualify. Only at Anderson Seed and Garden. Logan, see store for official rules.
I'm Larry Gelwicks, the getaway guru for Morris Columbus Travel and AMA Waterways. Explore Europe on a deluxe river cruise and step back in time as you sail along the Danube River, visiting Austria, Hungary, and Slovakia. To book your next AMA Waterways river cruise, give us a call at Morris Columbus Travel.
Come on and get away, Morris Columbus.
As the holidays arrive and the new year approaches, it's the perfect time to invest in your home. Canyon Plumbing and Heating will keep your furnace, boiler, and plumbing running smoothly so you can focus on celebrating. Don't let a problem interrupt your holidays. Call Canyon Plumbing and Heating today and mention this commercial for 10% off your next service. That's 435-881-6952. Canyon Plumbing and Heating, serving Cache Valley since 2005.
Aggie basketball is heard here.
You know, there's a pride in this.
KVNU is your station for the best game day coverage. With pregame beginning 1 hour before tip-off, play-by-play and postgame interviews and Aggie call afterwards. It's Aggie basketball on News Talk KVNU 610 AM, 102.1 FM, online at kvnutalk.com, and the KVNU mobile app, the heritage home for the Aggies.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People, hour 2 of today's show. It is time for, oh wow, I got to throw this out. We've dropped 2 degrees, 49 degrees at 5:12 in the afternoon. Going to be a little chillier tomorrow even, it looks like. But still, it's been a mild fall. Can't complain. It's time for our monthly spotlight on the Logan School District. And our Logan School Spotlight, of course, is organized and put together each month by Superintendent of Logan Schools, Frank Schofield. And Frank, as always, I got to start out saying thank you for doing the work on this. It's been fascinating. We've been doing this more than 2 years now, and we've never repeated ourselves. We've never had to, just fill an hour with you and I just chatting or anything like that, although we probably could. We'd get ourselves in trouble, but we probably could.
Neither of us have ever been accused of not having anything to say. So.
That's right. That's right. Sometimes to my detriment. I've always got an opinion, but no, it's fascinating to me. But I think I hope for listeners that have listened to this series over these years that you get an idea of how complex a school district is to do the job they're tasked with doing. It requires that complexity and the challenges that are faced as well within the district, but also how effective things are, how much is being done on really here in Utah, what is probably a third of what you actually need to do it financially. But it's honestly been amazing to see. And we're going to kind of go there again today.
Yeah. So, I mean, just feeding off that, first of all, I appreciate the opportunity to do this. As you and I talked about this originally a couple years ago, the idea was let's see if we can create some opportunities to celebrate the huge variety of positive things that are being done in our schools, the accomplishments of our students, the work being done by teachers, and the community partnerships that really make these accomplishments possible.
Sure.
So tonight, we're doing a little bit of a follow-up tonight. We've got Armando Porras with us here in the studio. Armando works at our Family Resource Center, and we've talked about the center before. But Armando and one of his colleagues just last week met with our building principals and all of our administrators to review the work that's being done at the center. And the center really focuses on servicing the needs of our migrant and our homeless families here. And as we enter the winter season and stuff, it's something that we tend to think about a little bit more. Of course, there's an article in the Herald Journal today, I believe, about the warming center is getting ready to open up and providing some support and services to the community in that way. So I wanted to bring Armando in and so we could have some follow-up conversations about these services and the needs they address. Again, just as a way to recognize as you said, the complexity and the breadth of the services that are provided through our public schools and the needs of our students and the outcomes, the accomplishments that we're able to see. Armando can talk a little bit about some of the ways these services are benefiting students and their families and students who are overcoming tremendous obstacles and thriving and moving on and graduating and getting scholarships and really just doing some outstanding things because of the support that Armando and his colleagues are able to provide them. So that's what I kind of wanted to share tonight and have a little bit of discussion about.
And this is, so now, Armando, you do this for the entire district.
Correct.
Whoops, sorry. Wrong button, Armando, sorry.
No problem.
I'm new.
I forgive you.
That's all right. Thank you. That district-wide is a big project.
It is. It is because we don't know what the needs are until they show up.
Well, that makes sense. And I would assume the needs are always changing and evolving,
Right.
too.
Right. Yeah, we can see that this year's needs are different than last year's. It seems like last year we have a big influx of students kind of towards the end of the year.
Sure.
And now it's more gradual so far. But we're always prepared for whatever situation comes up.
That is, and can you give us, kind of an idea of what situations we're talking about here? I know most of us could probably guess at ongoing needs that the families might have out there. And we've been talking about it a lot here on the show, especially with some of the things happening at the federal level. A lot of concern over food, a lot of concern over, transportation as well, even to school and from school and things like that have been coming up on our show. But what generally are we talking about as far as that changing and evolving need?
Okay. First, let me explain you what we categorize as homeless students are those who doesn't have a permanent or adequate living conditions.
Okay.
So students that are living, perhaps they're in a transition from living with relatives, or they were evicted, so they're living in a motel, hotel, or students that their dwelling, it's not properly, it's not in livable conditions, like maybe there's no heating, there's no electricity, or no water.
Okay. That is... So this, for listeners, I think I've told this story before, but I have permission from her to tell this story. I have a relative who was renting in Logan, had a son in middle school, and the home flooded in the wintertime. There was a broken pipe. The owner decided it wasn't worth fixing, and Logan City at the same time said, well, it's not livable. You can't live there. And suddenly she and her son were homeless.
Correct.
That happened to them overnight, and yet her son had school the next day. So that's kind of the scenario, a scenario that we're talking about.
Right, that's
here.
one of them. We have many, many scenarios that fit that description. For instance, there's students living perhaps in a car or campsite, or living with relatives, or what we call couch surfing. Students that are on their own, students that a sibling needs raising the younger sibling. So all those kinds of situations.
That is both parents at work, and so the older siblings kind of filling in.
Right, and sometimes the parents are not even present at all.
Interesting. That is, and tragic as well. But of course, we know this happens. Is that? Let me ask that maybe before we get too into the details here. Is that a challenge for you overseeing these programs and these projects and coordinating to get people to recognize the need in the first place? Because we like to bury, subconsciously or consciously, we like to bury these things, right? Especially here in Cache Valley, we like to pretend that homelessness is a Salt Lake problem or an Ogden problem.
Right. It's a nationwide problem.
Sure.
Sometimes when I talk to other agencies and nonprofit, they just surprised of the number of students that fit into that category.
Really?
We always think, this is a nice place to live, and these things doesn't happen here, but they're real. And there's a lot that sometimes it takes us some time to identify students that we can help.
Sure. Again, here in the studio with us, we have Superintendent of Logan Schools, Frank Schofield, and Armando Porras, Student Services and Migrant Homeless Secretary for the district, looking behind the scenes, if you will, at some of the family resources that the district offers to, in the end, the goal here is to keep kids in the classrooms. That's what the district is in the quote-unquote business of, but sometimes that means offering a little extra help. We'll keep the conversation going after this quick break.
News Talk 610 AM, 102.1 FM, KVNU.
I love living here, where we get to enjoy all 4 seasons. But I'll be honest, I don't love cold weather. We used to have drafty cold rooms in our home, no matter how high we cranked up the thermostat. So I called Cardinals Insulation. They inspected our home, found where the heat was escaping, and added insulation. It even lowered our energy bill. If your home has cold spots, drafty rooms, or your heater never seems to shut off, call Cardinals Insulation at 755-5012. That's 755-5012. Or look them up online. Cardinals Insulation in Logan.
Hi, it's Congressman Blake Moore. Have you heard the news? My office recently won an award for our Outstanding Constituent Service Program. That's right. The Congressional Management Foundation named Team Moore winners of their Best of Constituent Service Award, meaning Utahns in the 1st District are receiving some of the best help Congress has to offer. Representing Utah priorities in Congress and providing top-notch constituent service is at the heart of everything Team Moore does. We've had great success helping Utahns with expedited passports, visa processing, veterans benefits, immigration petitions, retirement issues, tax returns, and much, much more. We'd love for you to experience our award-winning service yourself. If you need help navigating a federal agency, including the IRS, Social Security, the VA, Immigration Services, or Medicare, please give my office a call at 801-625-0107. That's 801-625-0107. We're also happy to help coordinate U.S. Capitol tours, take your comments, and provide legislative updates anytime. It's our honor to serve you and your family. Thank you. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Got sinus issues or trouble hearing? What about tonsil issues? Don't let discomfort hold you back. Intermountain Budge ENT Clinic is ready to help. With expert care in ear, nose, and throat health, Dr. Matthew A. Wilson and Dr. Andrew J. Goetz provide personalized treatments, including thyroid surgery, to get you feeling your best. Breathe easier, hear clearer, and live better. Call Budge Clinic ENT today at 435-716-1420. Local care with Intermountain expertise.
Hey there, this is Cassidy with North Star Exteriors. We're thrilled to be the Best of Northern Utah Silver winner for the Exterior Contractor Paint Contractor. It's an honor and a reminder of why we love doing what we do. Thanks for voting, and thanks for being part of our story.
Welcome back to KBNU's For the People. Our monthly spotlight on Logan schools underway here with Superintendent Frank Schofield in the studio. And joining Frank and I today for this spotlight, Armando Porras. He is Student Services and Migrant Homeless Secretary for the district. We've been talking a little bit about the need that is out there and the different types of scenarios that can pop up. Either a short-term situation where, say, a middle school kid is, technically homeless for a night or two, but also long-term challenges that can come in where someone is, serving as sort of a de facto parent for younger siblings, or is has been long-term homeless for various reasons. And, of course, the goal of all this is doing everything they can to keep kids in the classroom. And you can imagine the incentive you would have to not be in the classroom if you don't know where you're going to be sleeping that night. This is a huge effort, and obviously something that can't easily be handled. And Armando, I just wanted to follow up with that. We talked about it already during the break, but how do you identify the need? Do you more often have to go out and initiate the conversation with a family or even an individual student, or do they come to you?
Well, it comes in different ways. At the school level, we work with the local teachers, counselors, school principals, that they give us, they know of a student or a student comes to them and they refer us to us, and then we follow up with that lead. And also we work with community services and partnerships with agencies and nonprofits, and also they refer us people that are in that situation. Sure. That are within the Logan City School District.
And then once the identification has been made, once the need is known, what's step two?
Okay, step two is make a contact with this family. We make an appointment, or sometimes we go visit them, depending on the situation. We interview them, we identify the need, and then we put them in the program when they qualify for it.
Sure. And is this something... I assume then, the school district can then reach out, because I know we have statewide resources that are being built up slowly, but being built up. Do you have a lot of help once you've identified the situation? Is there enough help out there, I guess is my question.
It is because we don't work alone. I mean, there's two of us running the program, and but since we work with community agencies and nonprofits, sometimes they take a leg, something that we cannot provide, they can.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, for instance, we cannot provide housing, but we work with local agencies to see if we can accommodate them.
Okay.
And provide that. Food, that's something that we don't provide, but there's other agencies that can do that. Clothing, sometimes mental health, you name it. We counseling.
Sure.
That's why we are the Family Resource Center. We don't provide them all the services ourselves.
Sure.
But we work with others so people can be taken care of.
That makes sense, because I would assume some services could be provided directly, even there at the school. Others not so much.
Correct. Yes.
This is again a chance to go behind the scenes a little bit on some of the family resources offered in the Logan School District. This is a reality, and as the Valley grows, the challenges here, the need is likely to grow with the population of the Valley. And of course, this isn't something that that schools are directly funded well to handle. So it's amazing, actually, that this resource exists in the first place within the district and within other districts where it does. And once you get the ball rolling, for lack of a better phrase, I assume at that point you can, maybe move on to the next area of need. But is it? I'm trying to think. Is it more difficult at different ages? When you, for me personally, it would be more difficult to work with someone in the K through 8 grade levels. And as opposed to someone in high school. And maybe that makes it sound like I'm callous towards high schoolers. I'm not, but they're a little older, they're a little tougher. It would be heartbreaking for a third grader. Is there a difference between the need in those age groups?
Not really. It's pretty much the same.
Is it?
Yes. What happens is that depending on the year, sometimes you will see a greater number at K through 8.
Really?
And a smaller number. Sometimes it's the reverse. So it all depends on circumstances. I mean, there's so many factors that are hard to identify. Why will change from one year to the next, or sometimes from one semester to the next.
Sure.
It'll be a different demographic.
That is. And does this ever show up? The alarm bells ever go off, and your first real indicator is a student's academic performance.
Right. We look at student attendance, student grades, because sometimes they're pretty close related.
You can spot trends that
exactly. You can spot them. We try to follow up, but those are your indicators. School absences and school grades, they can tell you a lot.
Sure.
And sometimes, we have kids in the program that even through tough circumstances, they still keep up with the schoolwork, and that's amazing. We have, at the end of the year, we push them for the ones that are in the program to graduate. All those seniors, we help them, we encourage them, we try to look at every avenue so they can graduate. And after 2-3 years, we see them back. And they're in their feet. It's just incredible how a helping hand can make a big difference.
Sure, and sometimes that's all a kid needs to. To me, it's fascinating to the resolve that would require to keep up your schoolwork, to keep focused on your education. Because imagine for listeners out there how devastating this would be at that age. To, bluntly not know where you're going to sleep that night. And maybe that's been going on for a few weeks or even months.
Right. Another category that we see is when we have families living together. We found that maybe 2 or 3 families are sharing a single dwelling.
Sure.
12 to 18 people living in a single dwelling. It's incredible, but it's a sign that things are not good at that place.
There's some instability there that could be a problem. That is, again, just can't drive home enough how important it is that these resources are available. We do have to go to a news break here, but a quick question from a listener. Listener wants to know if there's a family in their neighborhood that they believe might benefit from some of the resources, should they reach out to the district?
Yes, that's the best way to do it. Call the district office. They will take their information, and then we'll follow up with them.
Okay. Again, here in the studio with us for our spotlight on Logan Schools this month, we have Superintendent of Logan Schools, Frank Schofield, here in the studio. And this month, Armando Porras, Student Services and Migrant Homeless Secretary with the school district, talking about family resources available out there for kids struggling. It is a problem we don't like to admit is here in Cache Valley, but it very much is. And these are kids who are supposed to be focusing on nothing but getting their education, complaining about that math test. But imagine not knowing where you're going to sleep that night on top of that math test. That's what these resources are there to help address. And we'll keep the conversation going. First, though, a look at the news with KVNU's Will Feel Right.
Well, thank you, Jason. Brad Mortensen officially began his tenure as president of Utah State University on Monday, pledging a commitment of transparency, student success, and also resolving recent controversies. Now, the USU alumnus who previously led Weber State University spent his first day on the job volunteering with student athletes at the Cache Community Food Pantry. Now, Mortensen emphasized that his focus will be on students, stating that his goal is to help them develop the potential that they don't know that they had. Now, addressing USU's recent issues, including Title IX violations and legislative scrutiny over spending, Mortensen promised to ensure full accountability, saying that he wants to be transparent with all of the university's stakeholders, but he also hoped to be able to set aside controversies and move the university forward. Now, he's also prioritizing securing final legislative approval to restore $12 million to USU's budget following mandated funding reallocations. Now, Mortensen concluded that his leadership style will focus on connecting with the entire Aggie Nation across the state. And as you've been talking about, Jason, a Republican state representative now has initiated the process to impeach the 3rd District Court judge who struck down the Utah legislature's congressional map. Now, Representative Matt McPherson announced yesterday that he had opened a bill to file articles of impeachment against Judge Diana Gibson, accusing her of what he called gross abuse of power. Now, Judge Gibson ruled late Monday night that the legislature's map, known as Map C, had failed to comply with the voter-approved Proposition 4 redistricting reform bill and then ordered that instead the state should use a map that was submitted by the plaintiffs for the 2026 elections. Now, Republican Representative Candace Perriucci supported the call, claiming that the judge put her personal opinion before the state constitution. However, Kathy Beal, who's president of the League of Women Voters of Utah, defended Judge Gibson, saying that she was just doing her job and that the action was sanctioned by the Utah Supreme Court. And the Utah Food Bank says it's received enough state emergency funding now to continue operations through the end of this week, though officials are urgently hoping that the end of the federal government shutdown happens soon. Now, President and CEO Jeanette Bott confirmed that the Utah Food Bank had received 2 $500,000 payments from the state. It's all part of a commitment of up to $4 million in aid. Now, Bott emphasized that demand has consistently grown since the pandemic. Now, the ongoing need is compounded by the shutdown, which impacted not only SNAP recipients, but also 40,000 federal workers across the state. Now, one food pantry in Salt Lake City reported its numbers recently doubled, with lines stretching several blocks. The Cache Community Food Pantry said that they're seeing their numbers triple as we head into the holidays. Now, Bott is hoping that federal SNAP benefits will be restored by the middle of this month, but has asked that recent increase of donations continue through the holidays, as many food pantries are hoping to be able to restock their shelves. Well, we'll see temperatures tonight drop into the mid-30s as we'll see these clouds continuing overnight tonight, then clear tomorrow as temperatures Thursday going to be right around 65 degrees, then a chance of some showers coming in on Friday. That's going to leave us with cooler temperatures for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, with highs right around the mid to low 50s. And weather this hour brought to you by Dr. Keith Nilsson, offering over 27 years of experience eliminating knee pain and also pain from sports injuries and arthritis. It's Dr. Keith Nilsson. You can always get more information by visiting his website, drkeithnilssonortho.com. And I'm Will Feelright for KVNU News.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. On Capitol Hill this evening, debate ahead of a House vote to reopen the government. Republican Congressman Tom Cole of Oklahoma, chair of the House Appropriations Committee, calling for passage.
The legislation before us reopens the government, restores critical services, and puts an end to the needless hardship Democrats have inflicted on the country.
House Democrats lining up against the bill because it does not extend Affordable Care Act subsidies. Arizona Democrat Adelita Grijalva officially sworn into the House on Wednesday, 7 weeks after she won a special election. Right off the bat, the freshman signed a petition to release the Epstein files. This hours after Democrats on the House Oversight Committee dropped a series of Epstein emails, including one from 2011. It shows Epstein referring to President Trump as the, quote, dog that hasn't barked. The White House says the emails prove absolutely nothing. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia producing its last circulating pennies today. This is ABC News.
Snow's coming, and those overgrown branches hanging over your roof and driveway? Yeah, they're not built for the wait. Call Hull Tree Care. Their certified arborist knows exactly how to trim your trees. Now, you might think, I'll just trim my own trees and save money. I get it, but if you don't know what you're doing, you can weaken your trees or even kill them. Plus, right now, Hull Tree Care is offering 10% off. Call 760-6587. That's 760-6587 or online at hulltreecare.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and Cox Honeyland at Gifts has everything you need to make it even sweeter. From perfect Christmas gifts to honey by the pound, they've got something for everyone on your list. Whether you're looking for a tasty treat or a thoughtful gift, Cox Honeyland has you covered. Swing by their store or shop from the comfort of home at coxhoney.com. Make your holidays a little sweeter with Cox Honeyland and Gifts. Merry Christmas from our family to yours.
Not sure what to give for a holiday gift for family or employees? How about a gift card to Beehive Pub and Grill? Receive a voucher for a free gelato with a $25 gift card purchase, or a voucher for a free burger or sandwich of your choice with a $50 gift card purchase. Take care of your coworkers, employees, and family with a gift card from Beehive Pub and Grill. Open 11 to 8:30 weekdays and 11 to 9 Friday and Saturday. Beehive Pub and Grill is perfect for the holidays.
At Bell Sculpt, we believe cosmetic surgery is more than changing how you look. It's about how you feel. Whether it's a tummy tuck, breast augmentation, arm lift, or another procedure, our board-certified surgeons deliver beautiful results designed just for you. With advanced techniques, personalized care, and a team that truly listens, you can trust Bell Sculpt to help you look and feel your best. Call Bell Sculpt today or visit bellsculpt.fm to schedule your free consultation. Bell Sculpt, your body, your way.
Need a great deal near USU? Mention Aggie 79 and score a room at the Baum Hotel for just $79. Enjoy charming, homey hospitality in downtown Logan. You'll love the clean, spacious rooms and friendly, attentive staff. Take advantage of free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and a seasonal outdoor pool. At that price, it can't be beat. $79 rooms with Aggie 79 at the Baum Hotel. Value every day of the week. Call 435-752-5220. That's 752-5220.
Just like the water winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just like the water winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh,
Welcome back to KBN News for the People. Here in the studio with us today for our monthly spotlight on Logan schools, we have Superintendent Frank Schofield, and joining him today for this spotlight, we have Armando Porras. He is a Student Service and Migrant Homeless Secretary with the Logan School District. We've been talking, broadly about how he does his job, how they coordinate these services from identifying the need and making that first approach, first conversation, you will, with a student or a student's family, but also coordinating resources for the various scenarios that might be leading to a student being short-term or long-term homeless. And again, as I've already said a couple of times, this is a problem we like to try to bury. I know when the William A. Bernard Warming Center opened, there was kind of some big pushback, people saying, homelessness isn't a Cache Valley issue, it's an Ogden issue or a Salt Lake issue. And maybe one day that was, the case. Long ago, but definitely not so now. And a lot of these scenarios are something the families involved have no control over, things that happen to them rather than choices they're making. But we've all been in a situation where our finances got a little shaky, got a little scary. So that, I guess, is the next question I had for you, Armando. People out there listening, other parents in the district, can they help? Is there a place for the community to come together to help students who might find themselves in this situation?
Yes, there's many ways in the community can help. There's different nonprofits and agencies that they can direct their goods if depending on how they want to contribute, whether it's financially or with goods. So sometimes we're limited of how much we can take in.
Sure.
Because we have state regulations as well.
Sure.
And we don't have also any place of storage. So we can only have so much there.
Makes sense.
And but yes, the community can go and donate to local agencies and nonprofits because we work with them. So at the end, we end up receiving that.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That is, and no school district is really going to have the administration or the apparatus to run a full-on, homeless service program, right? So those local nonprofits, statewide organizations have got to be key in the work you do to help these families.
They are, and we work very close with them.
That is. I want to point this out, too, for listeners out there, but There's a family resources page on the Logan Schools, the district website, loganschools.org. And this is robust, Armando. The resources available for families here in many different scenarios that are going to be, popping up often for families. A lot of work has gone into this.
It does. It takes a teamwork, and that's the result of that.
Sure. This is a great question from a listener here. Does this also include help with the education itself? And I assume what they're getting at here, a question I also have, obviously in a situation like this, if the family is experiencing homeless, whether it's short-term or long-term, wouldn't matter, although, I assume it compounds long-term. The student at the center of this is going to be impacted in a way that might make it hard to do homework, might make it hard to stay focused in class, might mean they're coming to school hungry because there was nowhere to cook breakfast or make breakfast or store breakfast. What is done on the education side in the actual classroom to help that student keep their performance up and to keep them there in the classroom?
Well, one is that we monitor their attendance. And if we see that their attendance is declining, we contact the school.
Sure.
And by then, they already know as well.
They're usually aware of something. At least,
exactly,
right?
Something's happening there. But we only, in our resource center, we only take care of the immediate needs.
Sure.
So education is being handled by the district, and they're doing an amazing job.
Okay. So Frank, that's where you come in, maybe coordinating with the schools and say, okay, Armando and his team have identified, this situation, and this is likely what's going to be a challenge now in this specific classroom, and you coordinate that side.
Yeah, so you get the services from a couple different directions. For example, one of the things that will happen at the Family Resource Center is Armando will do conversational English classes with students and their families who don't speak English.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll have students who do go there because they need to shower, and we have bathing facilities there, and they'll do their homework. They'll do some studying while they're there. And occasionally, as they're doing homework, they might ask Armando or Veronica questions, and you have some interaction there. But the primary tutoring and academic support takes place at the school. So as the school staff become aware of a child's needs and how broad those needs might be, they're able to incorporate some of that support into the academic support they provide, either through before and after school tutoring, through a study hall class, through some of the homework or the homeroom intervention time that we have at the high school.
Sure.
Lots of different ways the support's provided. And the nice thing about it is, as Armando mentioned, it is a team effort. They, at the Family Resource Center, provide support and encouragement in the ways that fit that setting. And then the school is able to provide encouragement and support in the manner that best fits that setting. And you get this comprehensive sort of support system that's there to help children succeed and thrive.
That sounds really important. I mean, all of this obviously is important. Direct resources to help so that a child can know where they're going to sleep that night, and then direct resources in the classroom to keep the education side up. And I would assume, at the center of all of this, there's a bit of a challenge with, I've spoken with people who have found themselves, my cousin that I mentioned earlier, for a time didn't have a home due to a water pipe breaking in a home she was renting, and a housing market that wasn't friendly to finding a new home overnight. And I've spoken with others who have, with their kids, lived in a van for a couple of weeks after one person working was laid off, and they were just in between jobs. It hits a person's pride, whether that person is the adult in the situation with a child in school, or whether that is the child, his or herself, in school. Is that an issue a bit to do this in a way that you're, of course, not putting the student in the spotlight and, just announcing to the rest of the school, hey, this is going on for the student, please be nice. You can't approach it that way, right?
No, we cannot. We're very discreet. Teachers, they talk to the counselors, they send us a name, and then we follow up one-on-one.
Okay.
So nobody needs to know what's the situation. it's kept private between the student and us.
Sure.
If I could add, I'm really glad you brought that up, Jason, because as most of your listeners are going to be aware of, they've heard the term Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow, famous psychologist, has a structure where he looks at, what are the needs that we have as human beings to thrive. And they start with very basic. You got your physiological needs, and then you move to your security needs. Physiological, food, sleep, air, water, the basic things we just need to survive. And then you move into your security needs. And this is, I have a place to live, I have a place to sleep, I have a place to go. And a lot of times when we talk about services that we're providing to families or students in need, we really focus on those two. And that's because they are essential. You can't progress into higher levels of the hierarchy if you haven't taken care of those two.
Sure.
But the third level of the hierarchy is love and belonging, which goes to the question you asked about, these situations often hurt our pride. We feel like we're the only ones who have experienced this.
Yeah.
It's because of a personal deficiency. I must have done something wrong. Why can't I take care of my family? Whereas you described, as you talk about your family member, a lot of these situations are due to factors that are very difficult to control, and outside of the control of the individual. So one of the things that I love celebrating about the work that Armando and the staff at the Resource Center do is they make sure they do everything we can to help address the physiological needs. They find ways to help support these families who are looking for ways to address those security needs, and they do it in a way that addresses the love and belonging needs by creating opportunities for people to feel connected, to feel that they belong, that when services are provided, they're provided with empathy, with kindness, with discretion, as Armando mentioned. And because of that, we see that the members of our community who receive these services develop very strong relationships with the staff at the Resource Center.
Makes sense.
Armando and I were just joking beforehand as we came in here. We have one employee there who will never have to buy a meal at a restaurant ever again in Cache Valley because
everyone else is going to be...
because of the relationships that people have developed with her, because of the service that she gives and the way she gives it. We have families, when they are in crisis and they need help, they will go to the center just because they know the staff at the center are there to support. And sometimes it's not even because they need the resources of the center. They need the relationship with the people in the center. And that's what they get. We have students who go there because it is a place where they feel that safety and that connection, that sense of love and belonging.
And we've talked about how that comes up in many aspects.
Yeah, it comes up everywhere.
Education.
Because anywhere you go, it's right in the middle of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And if we're trying to get up to the top level of Maslow's hierarchy, which is self-actualization, becoming the best person that we're capable of, you can't get there if you don't have something in that level of love and belonging.
Yeah.
You hit a ceiling. So as we want students to grow and develop, as we want adults to grow and develop, we have to make sure we're addressing that component of Maslow's hierarchy. So regardless of what we're doing, if we're trying to address academic learning, if we're trying to address social emotional health, if we're trying to address social skills, student behavior, or if we're talking about these situations that we often deal with at the Family Resource Center where we're dealing with families in crisis, we have to consciously think about how are we helping people feel that they can connect with us, that they belong with us, that we're doing this out of love and compassion, because that's what makes the effort stick, if that's the right way to say it. It's what makes the efforts actually have a lasting impact.
What's so interesting about this to me is how often, so today we're talking with you, Frank, and you, Armando, here in the studio about, services for families that may be experiencing homeless, a very specific thing that we're talking about here today. But it's fascinating to me how often this comes back to a broader conversation we've had many times about the students needing to feel like they're part of a community at the school in order to get a good education. That community has to they have to feel that, that connection.
Yeah. And also one other thing that helps the students feel comfortable at our center is that our center, it's not an office setup. You walk in, and it's a living room with couches and a TV and a little
fireplace.
That's very nice. So it's welcoming from the minute you walk in the door.
They feel in a nice environment where they're not going to be questioned or anything, and they can sit down. We go over the issues with them. We also have a kitchen. We provide them some snacks and some frozen food that we have there, so they can feel at ease.
That's important.
Then we can talk.
That is. I appreciate you both coming in here to do this today. We do have to wrap up a few minutes early to hand the reins over to JD and Stockton for the Aggie pregame, which starts at 5, tip-off at 6 tonight here on KVNU. But thanks to our guests, Frank Schofield, Superintendent of Logan Schools, and Armando Porras, who is with the school district overseeing family resources in the lines of homeless services. This is a fascinating effort underway, and support it if you can. And that is our show for today. Stick around. JD and Stockton are next here on KVNU Logan.
Aggies, the USU Campus Store's annual holiday event is this Wednesday, November 12th from 7:30 in the morning to 7 p.m. Be one of the first 100 shoppers to make a purchase and get a free Utah State ornament. Save 25% on almost everything, including Columbia, Champion, and HydroChuck. Plus, select Nike styles are 50% off. The USU Campus Store has great holiday gifts for everyone on your list, and when you spend $100 or more, get a free 2025 collectible holiday bear. Don't miss the 15th annual holiday event this Wednesday at USU Campus Store or online at usucampusstore.com.
The Top of Utah Snowmobile Association invites you to Snow Friday, the club's opening social, Friday, November 21st at the Cache County Fairgrounds Event Center. Doors open at 5, dinner is at 6, and one meal is included with your membership. Participate and help the Top of Utah Snowmobile Association raise funds and continue the great events and preservation projects they have scheduled for this year. Join the Top of Utah Snowmobile Association, Friday, November 21st, Cache County Fairgrounds Event Center. Find the Top of Utah Snowmobile Association on Facebook or visit topofutahsnowmobile.com.
Everyone has an estate, but do you have an estate plan? This is Jace Allen, Northern Utah's estate planning attorney. At Allen Law Office, wills and trusts are what we do. If you've been putting it off, now is the time to get it done. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones, protect your legacy, protect your assets. Start today at cashlegal.com or just search Allen Law Office. Wills and trusts are what we do. Allen Law Office.
Ski season is coming, which means Season Ski Rentals. This is Mark at the Sportsman, where we have over 20 years of season ski rental experience. We rent to kids and adults. Come in to get season ski rentals for your entire family. We like to wait a little later in the fall because there is a chance your kids might grow out of their boots by the time ski season actually rolls around. You will get the right gear for your kids to ski this year at the Sportsman on Main Street in downtown Logan with tons of parking in the back.
Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning and Advanced Fireplace and Stove want to help local families this year with a food drive. Drop your canned foods off at the Advanced Fireplace and Stove showroom across from DI or hand them to one of their technicians when they come to your home for a repair. The Advanced team will match all contributions and offer the first month free when joining the Advanced Comfort Club. Find out more at advancedheating-ac.com. Donate to the Advanced Canned Food Drive for local families.
When the snow starts flying, be sure your tires are ready. At Express Tire, they work with all vehicles and all tire sizes with safety and comfort a priority. As a Point S Tire team member, you're backed by a nationwide warranty that includes roadside protection. No appointment needed. Just stop in and they'll get your tires winter ready. 3200 North Main.
Express Tire, tires for less.
Express Auto, where tires and service come together.
At Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, your hearing is our priority. For over 15 years, we've built trust by delivering expert care, personalized service, and real value you can count on. Our patients know they're more than just a number. They're family. We offer the latest in hearing aid technology, discreet, comfortable, and designed to fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference that true care and cutting-edge solutions can make. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, where trust, service, and better hearing come together.
Let Elements Restaurant take the work out of your Thanksgiving feast. Enjoy a full course, chef-prepared holiday dinner, perfectly roasted turkey with sage gravy, cranberry sauce, garlic mashed potatoes, whipped sweet potatoes, traditional stuffing, green beans, and your choice of pumpkin pie, apple galette, or pecan pie. All pre-cooked and ready to serve. Available for pickup the Wednesday before Thanksgiving from 3 p.m. to 7:50 p.m. Relax and enjoy a gourmet Thanksgiving at home. Pre-order today. Call Elements Restaurant 750-5171. That's 750-5171. Because great holidays start with great food.
Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning and Advanced Fireplace and Stove want to help local families this year with a food drive. Drop your canned foods off at the Advanced Fireplace and Stove showroom across from DI or hand them to one of their technicians when they come to your home for a repair. The Advanced team will match all contributions and offer the first month free when joining the Advanced Comfort Club. Find out more at advancedheating-ac.com. Donate to the Advanced Canned Food Drive for local families.
Roof Rescue is your local roofing specialist, dedicated to keeping your home safe and dry no matter the weather. Their team of experienced roofers is here to serve you, providing top quality service at affordable prices. From minor repairs to complete roof replacements, they've got you covered. Remember, your roof is your first line of defense in protecting your family from the elements. So don't wait until the next storm to discover your roof problems. Call Roof Rescue today at 435-999-4268. They're your trusted local roofing experts, here to keep your home safe and dry. Roof Rescue, celebrating 10 years of providing watertight peace of mind.
For 80 years, West Motor Company has been helping Cache Valley drive home in a vehicle they love. And around here, people know Ford and Ram cost less in Preston. Right now, you could save over $10,000 off a brand new Ram heavy-duty Bighorn, or over $12,000 off Dodge Charger RT, and over $5,000 off Jeep Grand Cherokee. Say it with me. Ford and Ram cost less in Preston. Always have, always will. West Motor Company, 80 years strong and still driven to serve you.
610 AM and 102 FM.
Best part of my day.
News Talk KVNU, Logan. Proud to be